guys, welcome back once again. I'm sitting here with Pankaj. Once again, welcome to my channel.
Thank you so much, Nikhilesh.
If you guys haven't seen Pankaj, this is the video. He was there explaining how he came to Germany. He has all his basic information, how he applied for a job, what questions were asked in his interview while he was applying for a job. He did not come on a job search visa or job seekers visa and then got a job. He already got a job while he was in India. And this is the follow-up video which we are doing right now. After having a contract in your hand, what are you supposed to do? Right? 6 months has passed. A lot of people have joined since then. Many wouldn't have seen the previous video, but still, just for them, you can give a quick context. And by the way, after you're done with watching this video, I'm going to link this first part of the video in the description so that you can go and watch that part also. Pankaj, just a quick description about who you are. And yeah,
so my name is Pankaj. I've worked in India for about a period of 4 years as a software engineer. And then after that I've come here. So I've done my bachelor's in computer science and engineering from Maharashtra. Yeah, so I've worked like for 4 years in Pune, and I'm here in Berlin now.
I think we have, after that video 6 months before, we have met like twice.
Yes,
after that, but for some other reason. How has life been otherwise?
Yes, it's been a long journey, I would say.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about, but I mean for everyone, and this would happen with everyone, I would say. The first 2 months were quite challenging, sleepless nights, culture shock, a lot of differences. I always had this fear, am I not obeying some rule or something like this? It's like a first world country.
Oh man, that was awesome. Okay.
Exactly. But it's quite better now. So yeah, I've learned a lot of things and happy for it. Back when I was working in India, I used to speak in Marathi in my office.
Yeah.
After coming here, it's totally English and all kinds of accents. So it took me like 2 or 3 weeks just to understand what exactly they are saying in their accent. It's the pure accent that they have, not pure, but I mean we guys have a strong accent, and theirs it's quite different. So my ex-lead is from England,
Okay.
and it's quite hard for me to gauge his accent. And now I understand it easily. For him, sometimes it's a bit tough still to understand my accent, but I can understand his accent.
Right. Pankaj, see, a lot of people are also watching this video because they want to learn more about Python industry, so to say. How is the work life and what is the demand of Python engineers, if I can call that?
Yeah. So Python is like one of the backend languages. So the demand is quite high for Python. The demand is quite high for Java. So maybe Ruby and Scala as well. And front-end technologies like JavaScript, anything in JavaScript, it's quite high. So tech is right now evolving here in Berlin. A lot of startups are moving from UK to Berlin after this Brexit thing happening. I mean, a lot of opportunities here.
Yeah. Can you share, other than Python or Java profile, have you come across some other kind of people who are working in IT only?
So yes, in IT, so you have, this is backend I spoke of. Then there are QA profiles responsible for testing, manual testing, or maybe automation testing. Then you have these business analysts who are responsible for gathering insightful data from, from the processes that are existing.
Right.
And then you also have this data science stream.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, a lot of data coming in and going out every now and then, so you can make sense out of it. So yeah, these streams I think are booming right now.
I just wanted to give you guys a bit more understanding of what's happening here in the IT market. But that was just a tip of the iceberg, I would say. There's a lot to learn, and this is what we do. Like we have hired more people just to take care of job seekers. Come on. Yeah. And I learn every day, bit by bit. Like it's so much to learn. Pankaj, walk us through how we're going to explain all those things.
Sure. I would explain this with the help of my experience and my friend's experience. So we can divide this into 3 steps. The first step is like, how do you book an appointment for the German national visa, which is for the employment category. The second is, once you have an appointment, this appointment is for the interview, you need to be there physically at the consulate. How do you prepare for this interview? Not that difficult, but just need to have the right documents. The third step is, once you have this approval of the visa, how do you make sure that you are here? I mean, with all the necessary documents and bureaucracy work.
Let's start with then step number 1.
Step 1, so based on where you live in India for the past 6 months, you need to book an appointment with the nearest German consulate. You can find out your nearest German consulate based on this, it's available on this website, vfsgermany.co.in. You can see on the screen.
Right.
So for me, I lived in Pune. So my consulate was Mumbai, German consulate Mumbai. Depends. So different consulates have different means of approaching them. So for me, I had to call them using VFS. For Bangalore and Chennai, I'm not very sure, but for Bangalore, I know you need to book it online.
Right,
you need to stay awake at midnight and then book it.
Well, that's another story, right?
Yeah, but
to book an appointment.
True. But for me, it was easy. I mean, I just had to wait for 10-15 minutes on call. Once I called this VFS, I had to keep my passport in hand. I had to tell my passport number, my birth date, my name, and my email ID.
Okay.
And once they confirm, they just give you an appointment date, which usually has some waiting period. So
you'll receive an email acknowledgement.
Immediately.
Wow. Okay.
But my waiting period was like 1 month. I had to wait for a period of 1 month. One trick I can suggest is which I did and which helped me. Once all your documents, which we will mention in step 2, once everything is ready, you can call VFS again, wait for your turn like 10-15 minutes and check if an earlier slot is available. Yeah. Because someone else might have cancelled their slot, and if you're lucky, you can get that slot.
Are they so generous to give you that?
Yeah, VFS, it's a third party, right? It's not the consulate actually. So they are quite helpful. I mean, it's their job that they do. Yes, they're helpful. So if you get lucky, you can get an earlier slot, just in case if you don't want to stay back in India, for a longer period of time.
No problem. Okay. So the goal is to get an appointment somehow, right?
True.
Okay.
So once you get this appointment, so there's this website that I would like to point to. It's india.diplo.te. So over here you will find everything that you need for all kinds of German visas. Not only for the German national visa for employment, but it can be for everything. For student visa, for job seekers visa. But today I think we'll cover only the German national visa for employment purpose. One thing I forgot to mention, when you call them, just mention that you need an appointment for the German national visa employment category.
Okay.
Sometimes they also call it type D or type 4, but make sure you mention this. You also should verify this in the email that you get. You get the appointment date and then the type of the visa. Once we are here, you can find under services German national visa.
Right.
So this is step 2 that we are talking about.
Right.
And over here you'll find all the steps that are necessary, all the documentation that you need to do. So 2 important things is you should have the physical copy of your work contract. So please ask your employer to send it via DHL or somehow, I don't know how, but you should have that. And you should also have your university degree. This university degree, original certificate, not provisional, because a lot of people just don't bother to get their original. They just have their provisional certificates. So try and get that because it's very important. If possible, the experience letters of all your previous employments. It's recommended, and they do ask you for this in the interview. So somehow try to get the experience letters. One hack again that I can suggest for the current company, what you can do is you wouldn't have resigned up until now, right? So most people, they don't resign until they get the visa approval. So to get the current company's work experience letter, what I did is I just asked them that I need it for police verification for my rental agreement, and they just give the proof of employment. So this you can do. If you hesitate how I can get this is what you can try. So step 1 is go to this checklist. So the checklist that we are concerned for is checklist for employment visa.
Right.
So this is the checklist. The main thing is application form, copy of your passport's data page. Also make sure you have the copy of your passport's last page which has the address. If needed, because I took both of them and it helps. Annexure for employment. This is another form. Employment contract. This has to be a physical work contract. Then deputation order, this you won't need because it's a full-time employment that you're doing, and you're not coming for a company that is sponsoring your visa back from India. It's altogether different employment. Personal covering letter and a resume. This you can make quite simple. Why are you traveling to Germany or something? Proof of qualification, this is important. An experience certificate, this we have already talked about. 1-page CV, and if applicable, approval by the Federal Employment Agency. Now this, if your university is approved on ANABIN, so this is this website, so anabin.kmb.org. Just check once that on this website your institution or the university and the degree is listed on this site. So this is a German verification site.
Basically a database of all the universities all over the world which are approved by German consulates.
True, exactly. Just make sure that this is approved, and then during the interview you can just say that it's available and it's listed in the ANABIN database.
Did you take any printout from ANABIN? Or
I didn't, but it was not a major problem. But a good suggestion actually, you can take a printout, and that would be
exactly helpful. Because just to bulletproof your own point, like, hey, listen, this is already a recognized university.
Good suggestion actually. And then step 2 is kindly procure your biometric photos. I'm not clicking on the link, but you can click and see what are the requirements.
Sure. Let's go on to step 3 now. What I want to know from you is go through the points which people might find it difficult on application form. Okay, because I mean, we don't have to necessarily go on name and all that. That's very self-explanatory.
So step 3, you will find the form here. So yes, this is like a long form. So I'll just go through it quickly. The name and all, you can put current nationality, India, single, you can just check mark. So this is an editable form, by the way. You don't need to write it with your pen. You can just edit this form, check mark the things that it's single or married, whatever it is. Passport, you need to mention your passport number, the current address that you have, email address, and all those personal details. Your family details, place of birth and everything.
Where do you think in this form people might have a confusion? I want to know that question.
Yeah, maybe this place, question number 6, intended place of stay in Germany. This, I think your recruiter can help you. So they will definitely help you here. Question number 7, this is a tricky question. Do you intend to maintain your permanent residence outside the Federal Republic of Germany? Depends on you. If you want to settle in here, you can keep it. But I was quite not sure, so I said yes. And I wrote, if so, where? It's India.
Okay.
So, yeah. And for sure, I want to go back to India. So I just checked it yes and then India. Right. So yes, we have addressed the questions about the form. Step 4, as the website edits is now, you can schedule an appointment for your visa at your German mission, which we have already done.
Yeah,
in
that's
advance.
how it started.
Yeah. Step 5, this is important. You need to have, so this visa fees you need to bear on your own. Your company won't bear this. Okay. I mean, unless they reimburse, but don't expect it to be reimbursed. So this is like the visa fees that you need to have a demand draft ready before the interview. And this fee, it keeps on fluctuating. So the fees you can find here at this link. So it's 75 euros right now, and you need to have a DD. Indian rupees is fine, 6,200 from a nationalized bank. Remember, State Bank of India is not a nationalized bank for some reason, I don't know. You can check what all nationalized banks are there. Bank of Maharashtra works. I took it from Bank Maharashtra. And then maybe you can check whichever is convenient. But just check the RBI website to recognize which one is a nationalized bank.
Right.
So make a DD of this. Since I mentioned the rates keep on fluctuating, Euro to INR rate, just take out a DD like 3 or 4 days before your visa interview appointment date.
Right.
And that would be helpful.
Makes sense.
And make sure that you write the correct name on the DD. So for example, Mumbai, in favor of Consulate General of the Federal Republic of Germany, Mumbai, and also ask them to have this thing payable in Mumbai. That's also important. Going to step 2, which is the interview. Once you have these forms ready, you need to keep 2 sets ready. So, and the originals as well.
Right.
So just have all the documents ready, and just if your appointment is if your appointment is at like 10 a.m. Just make sure you reach there like at 8:30 or 9. So it's good to be there in time, and because there will be a queue inside, they will let you in by queue. Some consulates, they don't have a facility to keep in your bag or cell phones. So make sure you either you either bring someone with you who can help you with to keep this bag, or just keep it at home.
Okay.
Just go with your document set and a pen, of course. Yeah. Once you get out, so they will have a different checklist inside the consulate, different one from this. So you just need to reorder your document sets, both the document sets plus the originals maybe, and wait. You'll get a token. You wait for your turn, and then you'll be asked to submit your documents on the counter. There will be basic questions. Like for me, there were 3 basic questions. The first one was, when did I sign this new contract? Where do I work currently? And then what will be my salary in Germany? Okay. So it's quite normal. It's not that stressful or intimidating.
Yeah. Okay.
So and then the whole process finishes there like in half an hour in the consulate. So then you go home. Just they will accept your documents.
Go and pray.
Huh?
Go and pray.
Go and pray. But nothing usually goes wrong. I mean, once you have all the documents necessary, so it's not that stressful. I mean, don't stress out, I would say. After the interview, they do say that it will take up to 3 months for the approval, but it's usually less than a week. So I and my friends mostly got it like in 3 working days. So I had my interview like on Monday, I got the approval on Thursday. So it's something like that.
Oh my God.
And if it takes more than a week or 2, maybe you don't hesitate to write them a mail. Just ask what is the status. Do you need something more from your side? So and they would reply you.
Okay.
Just write them a mail, and you can find the mail address on this website itself. Yes, so we have covered step 2. Step 3 is you'll get your visa approval over email, like in 3 or 5 days or a week. And once you have that, so in the email itself, they will clearly mention that you need to purchase a travel and health insurance of 6 months, and you should purchase it for 6 months. I would say don't take a risk, although you will be covered from your employer. Still, just take a 6-month insurance. I took it from Religare. Not sponsoring them, but it's quite easy. I went directly to their website. 30,000 euros is what the cover was for, and 6 months. So I just
How much did you pay for that?
I paid like some 4,000 or 5,000 Indian rupees that time.
Okay.
I don't remember the exact amount, but should be around that range.
Right. If you guys want more information on how to book the travel insurance, I've made a video. I'm going to link that video in the description for you guys.
Great.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No.
Yes. So then you can just get it from Religare. Policy Bazaar or other aggregators didn't help me much because they say that they can cover only for a maximum period of 90 days.
90 days,
and since you have this for like, but his video can definitely help you. So we can skip this part.
Can I tell you? I'm confused. So wait, after you said, after this interview, right? I was at embassy on my visa appointment date. I submitted all my documents.
True.
Right?
Not your passport.
Huh?
You don't submit your passport over there.
Correct. But I showed my passport that day, but they did not take my passport, right?
Yeah.
After a few days, imagine 1 week later,
Yeah.
they emailed me saying that, hey, Mr. Nikhilesh, please come and pick up, please come and submit your passport. Do they say that?
Yes. This
Right.
is the email.
Exactly. So I go on the day of submission.
No, it's not. You can go anytime.
So there's no visa appointment required to submit the passport.
Yeah. It's
All right.
BFS. It's a third party.
Okay,
company.
right. As soon as you get the email which says like, hey, we have approved it, please come and submit your passport.
And the travel and the insurance.
And okay, so passport, travel, health insurance, what else?
And maybe a printout of this email.
Print out of what?
Of this email.
Oh yeah. Right. Makes sense. Right. So these 3 documents you go and submit your passport.
Once you have these 3 documents, passport, travel and insurance, and the approval email printout, you go to the VFS, nearest VFS, and then you get a token. You wait for your turn. Let's say an hour or 2 you need to wait. So take out time and go to VFS and submit all these documents.
Right.
Pay the fees for stamping because they. I don't remember, but for stamping it's 500. I think somewhere around 500. And then they send this documents, they courier it to the consulate. The consulate or the embassy then stamps your visa.
So if I'm in Mumbai, where do they
go to VFS Mumbai.
So they have a separate office somewhere else.
Yeah, VFS is like a company which facilitates
Well, I know
this
that,
visa
but I
services.
just didn't know that they have a separate office.
For Pune, I'm not quite sure about Mumbai, but for me, Pune, maybe you can check out for your purpose. For me, I went to VFS Pune. This is what the mail read actually. You can submit it to your nearest VFS. So I went to VFS Pune and I submitted this document. So they courier it to Mumbai and they stamp it, and then it goes back to VFS Pune.
Right.
Now you have 2 choices. Either you can, so they will tell you that it has been stamped. You can collect it by going again to VFS. But the thing is, again, you'll have to get the token, wait for 1 or 2 or 3 hours, and then you can get your passport. The other thing is you can, for some minimum fee like 200 or 300 rupees more, you can get it delivered to your home or to your office address. I got it delivered to my office address, and that helps because time is money again, right?
Time is money.
Yeah.
And you had an audacity to get your visa for Germany approved at your previous company.
Yes. But yes, I mean, I like to be honest, so I had informed my bosses that I am looking for a job in Germany specifically.
So
I had informed them.
like, guys, listen, I got a visa for Germany.
Not really, but yes, I was honest with them and I had given them an idea that I am looking for a job in Germany.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Worst case scenario, if anything in between is getting delayed, for some reason your visa got rejected and you're reapplying it, all that thing, make sure you keep your employer informed about it, because they wouldn't wait until for some reason, because you know how hard it is to get an appointment at first place, right? That itself takes 1 to 2 months. That means your 2 months have gone technically, right? And after 2 months you got the appointment and you still didn't clear that visa thing.
It's good to be in touch with your employer through all this journey. It always, it's always helpful.
But I'm sure like they're used to such cases where if they get rejection, then what they do and all that. But yeah, the whole point is keep them informed. All right, guys. Thanks a lot, Pankaj,
so
for sharing all this precious information here. If you guys have any questions, you know where to contact. This is the email ID. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.